Good morning, students. In the previous class, we discussed derivation of for the uniform plane waves in free space. Right? In today's class, we will discuss about the propagation constant, that is gamma. Consider the Maxwell's equation derived from Faraday's law. We have derived the Maxwell's equation from Faraday's law, that is del cross E bar is equal to minus dou B bar by dou T, that is equal to minus mu dou H bar by dou T. This is the Maxwell's equation derived from Faraday's law. Right? Under Faraday's law, we have studied this equation. Taking curl on both the sides, we get, right, del cross E bar is equal to minus mu of del cross dou H bar by dou T. Right? So this vector del cross E bar, right, this is nothing but we have obtained this as minus mu into del cross dou H bar by dou T, right, using the simplified equation. So this is already simplified in our previous derivation. So we have got the equation for del square E bar. So this is nothing but mu sigma dou E bar by dou T plus mu epsilon dou square E bar by dou T square. So in uniform plane waves, both E bar and H bar, they vary with time. We have seen in the previous derivation. So according to the phasors property, so phasor is quantities in which there is a particular phase relationship between each other, between each of the quantities. So they are called as the phasors. So in the property of the phasors, it says that the partial derivative with respect to time can be replaced by j omega. Partial derivative with respect to time can be replaced by j omega. This is the property of the phasors. So accordingly, we can write del square E bar, this is equal to mu sigma. So this dou E by dou T, I can replace it by j omega E bar plus mu epsilon, right, dou square E bar dou T square means j omega square. So it is j omega square E bar. Fine. Or del square E bar, this is equal to, right, that is del square E bar, this is equal to what we will get here, that is j omega mu, I will take common. So this into sigma, j omega mu, if I take it as sigma, the E bar I am taking common. So plus this term will be, so j omega mu is there, so here it will be one more j omega epsilon, right, this into E bar, right, take it as equation 1. Similarly, for the magnetic field intensity, what we get here, del square H bar, this will be equal to, j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon, this into H bar, take it as second. So these two equations, equation 1 and 2, they are called wave equations in phasor form. Wave equations in phasor form. Okay. So the bracketed term, in the term which is inside the bracket, it is called as the propagation constant, right? Propagation constant, that is the bracket term represents property of the medium through which the wave is traveling. So it is nothing but a square of the propagation constant gamma. Hence we can write the above equations 1 and 2 as del square E bar is equal to gamma square E bar, right, and del square H bar, this is equal to gamma square H bar. Fine. Okay, so gamma square is nothing but the bracket term. Okay, so next, what will be the next equations? So the propagation constant, so what is propagation constant? It is the bracketed term, right? So that is gamma is equal to square root of the bracket term, that is j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. So we have gamma square is equal to the bracketed term, so gamma will be equal to square root. Yes or no? So take it as equation number that is equation number 5 here, equation number 5, right? So next students, so here this we have written in the form of del square E, previous equations, right? So it will be del square E minus gamma square E, this I can write it as 0. Okay, so what is gamma square? Gamma square is j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. Okay, so for H field similarly I can write, del square H minus gamma square H is equal to 0, where gamma is the complex quantity, it is a complex quantity, hence gamma can be written as alpha plus j beta, right? So from equations 2, and that is gamma square is equal to j omega mu sigma plus j omega, that is from equation 7, and from equation number, that is alpha plus j beta, that is equation 9. So from these two equations I can write minus real part of gamma square, so this is equal to, so what it means, that is gamma square will be equal to, so what is gamma square? Alpha plus j beta square, so alpha plus j beta square, so this will be alpha square plus j square beta square plus 2j alpha beta. So this is alpha square minus beta square plus 2j alpha beta, or minus re into gamma square, real part minus re into gamma square, this will be equal to, so it is minus, so it will be beta square minus alpha square. Fine, take it as, this is your equation number 10. Okay, so then what is gamma square? So gamma square, if we consider the equation gamma square, so gamma square is the basic equation, starting equation, it is j omega mu into sigma plus j omega epsilon. This is our gamma square equation, yes or no? So here, so gamma square, this I can write it as gamma square will be equal to, j omega mu sigma, I am just expanding the equation, plus j omega square mu epsilon. So this will be j omega mu sigma minus omega square mu epsilon. So therefore minus real part of gamma square, so this will be equal to, what is the real part here? This consists of imaginary part, so this is our real part, so this will be plus omega square mu epsilon. Fine students, so this is, let us take this as equation number 11, correct? So equation number 11. So here we have what we got, plus omega square mu epsilon. So therefore we have real part minus real part of gamma square, that is previous equation what we got, beta square minus alpha square, that is equation number 10, right? So this is equal to equation number 11 also, that is omega square mu epsilon. Or if you take the absolute value of gamma square, so this will be equal to beta square plus alpha square, so that is absolute value of j omega mu, that is gamma absolute value, so this into the gamma square absolute value, that is sigma plus j omega epsilon. So this is what, this is absolute value. If I want to take, what we will get, omega square root of omega square mu square, this into square root of this is also in terms of j, so square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square, right? So that is absolute value of gamma square, this is equal to beta square plus alpha square, that is equal to omega mu into square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square. Okay, so take this as equation 12. Next students, so here we got beta square plus alpha square and beta square minus alpha square, right? So beta square minus alpha square is omega square mu epsilon, and beta square plus alpha square is omega mu square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square, right? So now add this, so plus alpha square minus alpha square will cancel, so we get 2 beta square is equal to omega square mu epsilon plus omega mu square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square, right? Therefore beta will be equal to under square root omega square mu epsilon plus omega mu square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square, this divided by 2. Okay, so next we have to simplify this. So for simplification, so consider the same equation, that is for beta, whatever we have got. So beta is, what is beta we have got, that is, I'm expanding now. So it is omega square mu epsilon by 2 plus omega mu by 2 square root of sigma square plus omega square epsilon square. So inside the square root, multiplying and dividing throughout by inside square root multiplying and dividing throughout by omega epsilon, we get beta is equal to square root of omega square mu epsilon by 2 into omega epsilon divided by omega epsilon plus omega square mu epsilon by 2 square root of omega square epsilon square plus sigma square, this divided by omega epsilon. So I have inside square root, I am multiplying and dividing throughout by omega epsilon. So this will be equal to this will be equal to what we get here, omega, if I take common, so what we'll get here, so this will be omega square mu epsilon by 2, if I take common, so this into square root of omega square epsilon square plus sigma square plus omega epsilon, this divided by omega epsilon. So this omega, I'll take it outside, omega into square root mu epsilon by 2 into square root of omega square epsilon square plus sigma square, this divided by square root omega epsilon square, because this, if I take it under square root, it will be square root of omega epsilon square plus omega epsilon, this omega epsilon, this divided by omega epsilon. Okay, so this will get omega into square root of mu epsilon by 2 into 1 upon omega epsilon square root of omega square epsilon square plus sigma square plus 1. Okay, so this will be omega outside, this into mu epsilon by 2 into square root of omega square epsilon square plus sigma square. Okay, if I take it under square root, if I take it under square root here, so this divided by omega square epsilon square plus 1. Right, students? So what will be the next equation then? So this will be, therefore beta is equal to omega into square root of mu epsilon by 2, right, into square root of 1 plus sigma square upon omega square epsilon square, right? So plus 1 radian per meter, right? I will write it again. Beta is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon by 2 into square root 1 plus sigma square upon omega square epsilon square plus 1. So it is outside this square root but under the main square root, plus 1 radians per meter, right? So we have got the equation for beta. Okay, so similarly we can get the equation for alpha also. If we simplify, we will get the equation for alpha. Alpha will be equal to omega into square root, right? Alpha will be equal to omega into square root omega epsilon by 2 square root of 1 plus sigma square upon omega epsilon square. Okay, this minus 1, it will be minus 1 for alpha. Fine, students. So this is our equation for alpha and beta. Okay, so beta is called as the phase constant, alpha is called, what is the alpha here? So it's here alpha is the attenuation constant, whereas beta is the phase constant. Fine. So next we have to find the equation for eta, that is intrinsic impedance, right? solution to wave equation, solution to wave equation in E is taken as E is equal to E naught e raised to gamma z ax, right? So we have the identity del cross H is given by sigma plus j omega epsilon this into E, and del cross E is given by minus j omega mu H. These are the identities for curl of H and curl of E, right? Now dividing one over the another, if I divide one over the another, so what I get here, del cross H divided by del cross E. So this will be equal to sigma plus j omega epsilon this into E, this divided by minus j omega mu H, right? So if I take del cross H of H, that is equal to sigma plus j omega epsilon this divided by minus j omega mu H, right? Del cross E of E, del cross H of H is H square, right? So this will be H square is equal to sigma plus j omega epsilon this divided by minus of j omega mu H. Del cross of E is E square, del cross of E of E is E square. So what will be absolute value of H then? Absolute value of H, note that it is absolute value of H, so this minus sign will go. So this will H is equal to square root of sigma plus j omega epsilon divided by j omega mu into E, okay. So what is E equation we have written just now, equation for E, that is, now if we have that E, it is in X direction if we are taking, right, and H we are taking in Y direction, right, HY according to our convention. So intrinsic impedance eta, this is given by, intrinsic impedance eta is given by, eta is equal to Ex upon Hy, so that is equal to square root of j omega mu divided by sigma plus j omega epsilon. So fine students, in today's class we have discussed to find out the propagation constant gamma. What is propagation constant gamma? Then what is, we have derived the equation for the attenuation constant alpha and the phase constant beta and the intrinsic impedance, right? We have derived the equations for those, right? Starting from the equation for the alpha, that is starting for the equation, we have derived the equation for beta. We have derived the equation for beta here, right? Then finally we have derived the equation for eta. Then we have also derived the equation for alpha here. We have derived the equation for the alpha. Okay, so that's all students. If there are any queries, I hope you have understood. If there are any doubts, please send your doubts to me. I will clear your doubts. Thank you.